Hey everyone, Tommy J here, and today I'm here to talk to you about Civilization 5, specifically putting cities on production focus in detail, because there really is a good amount of stuff that's worth knowing. Okay, so some people talk about min-maxing your cities by switching them to production focus, which means you're essentially getting everything you possibly can out of them and their yields. But how does it all work? Well, at the end of every turn, all yields are processed, but they're done in a set order. So obviously, food is processed first. This means that if your city grows and a new citizen's born, some of the yields from the tile the citizens defaulted to will actually count towards that turn's yields, assuming they're not processed either at the same time as or before food. This means that any production, gold, science, even faith and culture from that new work tile will be given to you as if you'd been working it on the previous turn. So let's, for example, just take this city right here. You'll notice that it's got production focus, and there's a whole heap of tiles. The city's about to grow in one turn, and from the looks of it, the citizen will go to this tile here because it's production focused. So let's have a quick look at some of our yields, starting with production. Currently, our barracks is 44 out of 75, with 22 per turn, which means next turn, we're likely going to go to 66. However, if the citizen goes to this tile, we'll get that extra 3, so we'll go to 69 instead. Now, everything else is also counted, so our gold will likely go up by 9 instead of 7, so we're probably going to end up with 1181 gold. Culture will likely go up by 19, so 202 culture instead of the 201 we would have without that tile being worked, and then faith will go up by 6 instead of 5, so 228 faith. Another thing is science. Now you can't influence this in any way. It doesn't matter what focus you're on, this just happens. Each citizen provides you with one base science. So by having that extra citizen be born, our science yield will go up to 25, and even though it was born that turn, since science yield is processed afterwards, we will get 25 and go up to 467 instead of 466. So let's end the turn, just make sure all this is right. So yeah, as you can see, gold went up by 9, culture went up by 19, and faith went up by 6 because the new citizen is working this tile. So science did indeed go up by 25, as you can see, 467, and the barracks went up by 25 as well, so up to 69 out of 75. So you do have this advantage by switching to production focus, because say we weren't on production focus, we were on normal or food focus. This citizen would have gone to here. But since the food has already been calculated for that turn, we wouldn't have gained anything. Like, not even that 4 extra food, because food's calculated, then it makes the citizen get born, then it does the rest of them. So yeah, by going to this tile, we did gain that slight advantage. Now, interestingly, if a citizen's born and they become a specialist, you actually get those yields as well, except for great person points, because great person points are either processed before food or at the same time as food. Now, if you're putting your cities on any focus aside from growth, not just production, say you want to go science focus or whatever, you will need to micromanage, because say it goes to here, obviously you don't really want to be working a high production tile when there's high food available, particularly in the early game. Obviously there's set circumstances that may want you to work that production, but it's likely that if you have the choice between, say, a hill and this, which would happen on my next citizen, you definitely want to work the food over the 2 production, unless there was something weird happening. So yeah, you do need to change that, and you will need to lock them in place after every new citizen is born. So when you get a lot of cities, that can get a bit tiresome, and it can take a while. But if you're playing on deity in particular, it can really help you out just by giving you those extra hammers. So what happens if there is a golden age? This may be common knowledge, but just in case you don't know it, this is decent information. It's similar to science in that you can't influence at all, but knowing it can be used to your advantage. So when a golden age happens, as you can see here, production and culture is increased by 20%, as well as that little gold bonus. So if a new citizen goes to, say, this tile, you actually get the yields as if the golden age was happening when the citizen was already there. So you do gain those bonuses from having a new citizen born during a golden age, and they do get modified by the golden age. So that's really good. Now, similarly to a new citizen being born, a building finishing construction can also give you yields on that turn. But since a building relies on production to complete as opposed to food, it's a little further down the chain, one step down in fact. This means that a building that gives you food, great person points, happiness, or production will not give you a bonus similar to the way a new citizen working a tile would, meaning a building such as the granary won't actually have any effect on your food within the turn it was built. However, a building that gives you yield for science, faith, culture, and gold will. Now, that gold includes both positive and negative. So for example, that granary, it doesn't give us that food, but let's go to granary. It does cost 1 maintenance. So in the turn the granary's built, we actually lose that 1 gold. For example, I'm 1 turn from finishing a barracks right now, and I'll likely only gain 6 gold this turn because of course barracks do cost that 1 maintenance. So instead of going to 1188, I will go to 1187 when the turn ends. Yeah, as you can see right there. So this final point may seem basic, but tile improvements are actually applied on the turn that they finish, for everything, including food. And this is because of the way they work. It's actually a little strange. See this worker right here? He has 1 turn left to construct this mine, which means that at the end of this turn, if a new citizen were to be born on this tile, or just that tile's being worked, I would actually gain that extra 1 production that a mine does give, so 3 production instead of 2. And you can show this just by cancelling him and building it again, and it will instantly finish it. So it's just a weird way the game's coded. It waits till the end of the turn to actually give you that bonus, but it does finish it during the turn. So anyway, in summary, new citizens can give you yield for production, gold, science, faith, and culture, and these count for both specialists and just normal citizens working a tile. They cannot give you food or great person points in any circumstance. When it comes to buildings, the only things you'll get a benefit from on the turn a building's completed are gold, both positive and negative, so including maintenance, science, faith, and culture. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. I hope this has helped you out a little bit. This has been Tommy J, and have a good one.